So Dean texts me at midnight, says my hot water heater's broken, or my water heater's broken.
It's dead.
What am I gonna do?
Cold shower.
Yeah. And I said, well, I'll come over and help, because I know from 4 fish room tours ago that your water heater is behind this rack of tanks.
Behind that, yeah. So this rack has to move away.
Uh-huh.
And then we got to get into that wall. The water heater's in that wall. Now, I won't spoil it all right now because you guys will be amazed what I did in that wall to make it all work.
Okay.
So we won't spoil that. We'll save that for the video. But basically what we have to do is, I've already taken pretty much all of the loose stuff off the rack. The rack is screwed to the wall. We'll unscrew it. Most of the plumbing and etc. is attached to the rack.
Okay.
This was planned. So we look down here where the drain is.
Yep.
I put a union.
Yep.
Disconnect the union, it's disconnected from the drain.
Smart.
Right? So then it can, so it's got to go back. And on the floor, you might not be able to see, but I have taken a felt pen.
Okay, yeah.
Where those legs got to go back to.
I can see that.
Right?
Yep.
It's going to be a pain.
Yep.
They will be bleeping cuss words out. Sorry, Jimmy. But there might be blood. But I've done this once before.
With a fish rack in front of it? How often are you breaking water heaters?
Well, it wasn't for a water heater. When we get in the closet, my linear piston pump's in there too.
Oh.
But remember when I wanted to upgrade the pump to the bigger pump?
Yes.
So I had to take it all down to put the bigger pump.
I would have never upgraded.
Yeah. But see, I like that noise to be out of my fish room. So,
yeah.
And even though the linear piston is really quiet, it's still in your fish room.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is, out of each tank, I'm going to take about a 5-gallon bucket of water. We'll probably set that out in the hall.
Okay.
Maybe we'll use that water again, maybe we won't, but I want to have it for just in case the fish start freaking out.
Yep.
And then we're going to literally drain the tanks down to about a fish bag of water.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the fish in there.
Yep.
This one, we were talking about cleaning this. I drained it completely because I had to clean it.
Because this is like 3 or 4 days after I was just here.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And look right behind you.
Well, they did hatch out.
The bristlenose.
Yeah.
Came out. They were in the fry trays.
Okay.
Now, if we get to it, we're going to take those bristlenose out of the cave today too.
Okay.
Because they're ready to come out. So we'll drain each tank. Some of you internet people are not going to approve of how I move this. I don't care. I'm sorry. The tanks are going to have some water in it. It's just life. I've never broke a tank this way. If we break one today, we'll just got a new one.
At least it'll be on camera if you break it now. Now if you say that, it'll be the perfect time to chime back in and go, oh, geez.
So what I tried to do when I set this up, because I knew at some point this might have to move out.
Yeah.
And I did at one point think of putting casters on it.
I remember that.
But the weight would be so big that it would be hard. They'd probably flat spot. Unless maybe I got
we've had a couple earthquakes lately. I wonder if the wheels would move a little bit during the earthquakes. So.
They might. And that's why I do have a couple straps to the wall, so that it can't tip over. It'll shake, but it can't tip over. So most of the system, the hardware, is attached to the rack, not to the wall. You will see the water supply is attached to the wall.
Yep.
Some of the power is attached to the wall, but a lot of the power is also attached to the stand. So we just have to work around that.
Yep, I'm just here to lend a hand and film, and at the end, not only do we have to move a bunch of fish tanks, we still have to pull out a water heater. And I want to show, because you're like, yeah, you're replacing a water heater, no big deal. Like, it's gotta go through tight. Like, driving here, I was worried of it going through here. Honestly,
I am too. Never thought of that.
I was thinking, I was like, I know it's narrow to get through here.
I think it's 22 inches.
Oh man,
we got 23.
It's still in his car,
we
so
got 23.
We're about to find out. But I was thinking, getting that out here and in, and I know he's got a lot of stairs, and so even after we pull, like, okay, we did the fish thing, I'm more worried about like the actual moving of a water heater than anything at the moment, because I don't know what's behind that wall. Like,
Yeah,
I could just see you opening it up, and you're like, oh, you didn't know it goes down into the crawl space? We got to get it out of there. Like, things are coming over.
No, and actually, when we are back there, you can get some great B-roll of what's behind that from the water heater.
Okay.
We'll just have to remember to do that.
Yeah.
There is a light in the closet.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I put that in. So.
All right.
So let's start doing it, I guess.
Yeah, we've got a GoPro setup that's going to film for the next 5 hours, and you guys are going to see me chiming in, and then that for 5 hours. We anticipate. I mean, so right now it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
Yes.
I don't think I'm getting home before like 11 tonight. Like, because we'll end up going to eat at some point. But I just envision by the time this is wrapped up, water's back in, it's going to be a late night, I think.
Right, probably.
You know.
One of the things I do, not really a plant guy, but what I do have, I want to try to keep alive.
Sure.
So, like this one had that lily in it.
Yep.
Whatever that. I take a paper towel, and it's just going to get wet with tank water.
Yep.
And I'm just going to put it over the main part of the plant.
Yeah.
I'll do that for the anubias. I don't really worry about the moss. It'll be okay. So we'll be doing that as I drain the tanks.
Sounds good.
That's just, I don't know if it does anything.
I think it definitely helps them stay moist. I don't think it hurt anything for sure.
What's in here? That's moss. Those will be, oh no, they'll do half of them.
All right, well, putting the camera down, getting started. All the secrets you've been hiding.
Nice looking wall, huh? Everything's gonna fit right back on there.
It does look nice just from the organization standpoint. Like,
of course. What do I often say? It's those extra 5 minutes every day, where you're tying this on or putting that on or.
It shows.
Those are what matter.
There's no this should be like you move the Innis fish book and it opens up, like a trap door. That is crazy.
Oh, we're in trouble.
I assume this room is going to be way bigger.
It is way bigger. The furnace is back there.
Oh no.
This whole panel slides out.
What have you done? That means everything here has to move to get this out.
Yeah, but not everything, because this is not heavy stuff. We'll just take the leg off.
Yeah, I just assumed we were going to let's walk into here. Nope.
Dang, and this.
Yeah, I knew that was...
If I had couplings, we might just glue that.
Yeah. Would you run an inch and a quarter?
Yeah.
I mean, I could run to a hardware store if that's got to be a thing. Like, once you get into the meat of that thing, then I could run to a hardware store.
So, that's not working.
Yeah.
Good thing. I do have a shut off.
Yep.
That's the supply line. I can shut that off. We could drain everything. This is the 2 pipes coming over.
Okay.
So I've got cold, hot.
Yep.
They come over, and I don't know if you can get a camera back in there. If we pull that chain, that light will come on.
What chain? Oh, that chain that's way up there.
I know, but I'll get that chain.
All right, you pull a chain.
Oh man, look back there. I can't believe I did that. Can you imagine the plumbing inspector coming by?
Yeah. They'll love that. That's... Had you taken a picture of this before I agreed, I would have said no. I like the noise suppression though you got going on with the foam blocks and the wood.
It works really good. You have to have the wood in between.
Yeah, otherwise it would suffocate itself.
Yeah, exactly. So
it might be a good thing to service the little foam pad on top. That's the one thing I always forget in my store. There's a little air thing. It gets way dirtier than you think.
It gets super dirty.
And I actually replaced them with the fine pads that I sell in my store. Like we just cut it instead of buying like the expensive one. We just so maybe we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, we could.
I always think how the hose turns that reddish color. I always find that weird with
I
the
think
air.
that's the oil. It's
Oh, the
actually
oil from the.
Because okay, this is the other time. You know, they come with clamps like this.
Yep.
It blew right off, and so I had no air going in the room.
Yeah.
And so I put it on with a metal clamp now that's
Yep.
super tight. Up here I don't seem to have that problem.
So what I noticed, because I had this happening in my fish room, by the actual pump itself, it gets a lot hotter, and that rubber is more pliable, or the vinyl's way more pliable right at the connection.
It's really hot right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it gets really flexible down there,
Yeah.
and so I ran into that same problem myself.
And what does this little line do? Ever figure that out?
No, mine doesn't have a little line. Or no, yeah, mine doesn't.
It's pumping air somewhere.
Huh.
So
Maybe it's just like one of those like, yeah, I have no good answer for that. Gemco, John, if you're watching, tell us what that does. Alright, well, I guess I put the camera down and we start moving stuff.
wow. This is called Water Heater Wrestling 101. Old water heater fell apart.
Move the bottom of it, yep. Like a glove. This could not be like. Yeah, that's where I was a little worried. We have to do a little magic to get in, but it looks like it's going to be just. Tell me you planned that when you originally built that. You're like, oh yeah, all water heaters are between 49 and 52 inches, so.
Well, I thought they were like 5 feet, so this is like 60.
Ah. And I'm sure it'll breed fish better. It's the Performance Platinum model.
Hope so. Guess these things first, huh?
It is a little insane that you can't return that hot water heater or the water heater to Home Depot. Like now that it's here, you just call the company to let them give you the runaround.
I can't do what?
It says don't return this heater to where you bought it.
Oh, I know, I know.
Like, a little crazy. Installed and working. Now he's got to close it up, move tanks back, put water back in, check on fish, eat Mexican food. Oh, you can see that Dean at some point has put water on the floor because his 2x4 has the watermark.
More than once.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I think we are too.
I don't smell any gas, do you?
Nope. Let us know at home if you smell the gas.
I mean, if you weren't here, I'd probably go get my little striker.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the only gas joint, and you just, if it gets a little flame, then you know it's leaking.
Don't do that at home.
Right.
Yeah. So now we just gotta put everything back
Turn the
together.
light off, and then we're
Oof.
heading back to.
We're about 3 hours in so far.
That's faster than I thought.
It's definitely going. We, knock on wood, haven't hit any roadblocks. And what I'm shocked about so far, this is my thing is, this is a project where we haven't run to the hardware store yet. Like you went once to pick
Right.
up parts,
But that
but
was last
I
night,
can
yeah.
never pull that off.
Oh yeah, and I do need to do one more thing. Yeah, I can reach it. Whenever you do a hot water heater somewhere, you got it right when it was installed.
That's a good idea.
So that's it. That's what's behind the scenes, the closet.
Yeah. Now we gotta slide everything back into place, and I'll still be here looking at fish.
So what have we decided to do? This is like a 90% water change. It had a really bad storm. It's too hot still.
Is it too hot still?
81.
81. You like it at 80, so.
Well, you know what I think's happening is because you know how the tank, it's not completely all to temperature yet.
Right.
So it's still swirling around in there a bit. Now we're leaving.
Fills up quick. You have really good water pressure.
60, something like PP somethings.
All right.
But I'm also flowing through a 5/8 inch hose rather than a 1/2 inch hose.
Yeah, you got no time for 1/2 inch.
Yeah, I don't. That just drove me crazy. Hey, you guys will be okay in there. Just chill. It's just water. Might feed you tomorrow. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Think guppies can handle that big a water change?
Yeah.
What about those poor guppies?
Don't overflow.
I won't. You always hear the drain before it overflows.
Fair enough. I guess maybe you know your own fish room.
You measure this, right?
Uh-huh.
And so do I. Is that enough?
I think it'll be enough.
So with our chlorine, the only reason I'm doing this is because it has that slime coat stuff.
Right.
And I just want to, you know, we're doing a big water change here. This one I'm going to dump some of that water back in.
Okay.
Because those are my only 4 zebra plecos.
Sure.
You know? So.
Cat wants fish.
You guys want to see my cat? Okay, just a second. Now I'll be quiet.
I already showed him.
No, yeah. I'll show him. Drain's working.
Ah.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Considering everything on this side goes down that same pipe.
Through what we cut through a little while ago.
We did cut through.
Yeah, I mean it. Honestly, this turned out to be a good fish room project. Like it, I thought it was gonna be a nightmare, and it wasn't that bad. And
Could have been a lot worse. I will be watching the fish.
Yep.
For the next day or so, making sure they'll be okay. I mean, we don't have a lot of crap in our water here. So you'll hear it. You'll hear it. Hear that? That means you got 20 seconds to turn
Yeah,
the
you're a
water off.
madman.
20 seconds to turn the water off before it's flowing.
That's why Dean doesn't run substrate, so you could just blast it in there.
But I do have that substrate thing that will show them someday.
Someday. Can't give away all your secrets yet.
No, crazy.
After this, food.
I'd be kind of tempted to add a little bit of salt to each tank.
That's why your plants hate you.
We put the fish through a little turmoil today.
It's true.
I mean, what would they be thinking when we were moving the rack?
A lot of stuttering of the rack, so I don't know. Earthquake, I guess?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You explained to them how stingy I was by taking the female out last night, right?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah, he was afraid that the stress would cause her to give birth up in this top tank.
Up here, and we're trying
Yeah.
to propagate these fish.
So he pulled it out in its own separate bucket so this female could give birth.
With a little heater even.
Yeah.
And air stone.
Lots of fry with a DIY little breeder box. So look at that. He even used the USB.
That is the coolest little air pump.
It is handy, I will admit. Like I find myself using it, like it becomes its own sales pitch because I end up using it so
Right.
often.
Until I had one, you don't think of that, but now I have one. I got to go get that for the bucket,
Yeah.
right? I've used it on the ice chest when we moved the big fish,
Sure. Yeah.
the giraffe cat.
Yep.
So it's just, you're right, it's just handy.
Yeah, having them kind of sitting around, I use them all the time. Whereas a normal air pump, I'm like, somehow, maybe it's because it doesn't have a hook. Even if I had an air pump there, I'm like, I'm not hooking that thing
does have
up.
a little hook that you can
Yeah,
use too.
and I always hook it. And I think that because I don't have to go find a check valve or anything like that, I just hook it on top of the bucket and it's fine.
Right. Exactly.
That's, I guess.
I haven't even thought about putting a check valve. I figure, if the water goes backwards, I don't know what will happen.
Well, if it's hanging on the bucket, it is fine.
True.
Yeah.
So why did we fill all those buckets with water?
Just in case.
Just in case, exactly.
Yeah, there could have been a horrible scenario of like, let's say you go to turn the water back on and it doesn't come back on, or
leaks everywhere.
Yeah.
Get a plumber anyway. Did I do this up here?
I don't think so, but
I don't know. I can't remember.
when in doubt, twice the ultimate. You can dose up to 9 times too much before it starts getting harmful. Yeah. Yeah, he's still on paper towel removing duty. It's funny that, well, not funny, it's interesting that a protein film built up on the top of the water in just 3 hours.
Where do you see that?
Like on the top, there's like a bunch of bubbles, and I think that's a little bit of protein film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We gotta turn the air back on the bottom, or the middle row.
We'll get to that.
Yep, there's still a lot of little checks to go through before, you know, Mexican happens. Mexican tacos.
When we come back, we could take those plecos out and put them in the fry system if we want to.
May as well. I think people want to see that.
And go to sleep.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I'm so happy for this.
I know.
This is what made my whole day, actually. Because I took her out last night, about midnight, put her in here, because see, this is actually designed, these are 9 3/4 inch long, to fit across a 10-gallon tank. I was going to sit it in that tank, right?
Yeah.
But I saw she was so pregnant. I mean, like, if you look at this big one, now, just so you know, she's dropped her babies in here today.
Yeah.
She was like 5 times that size. I thought she was going to hemorrhage. She was so big.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, I want those babies, whether I change the hot water heater or not, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, a bucket. What do you call those heaters that just...
They're just
It's like
an always-on
Benetank
heater. Yeah.
It's a 10-watt one. It keeps it about 78 degrees. Airstone. And I put a little piece of poly filter in there.
Just to absorb any kind of ammonia or anything.
I'll do a little bit of water change. Actually, they'll probably go in the tank as soon as I'm sure that the tank's stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poly filter did absorb some stuff. Not a lot, but a little bit.
We'll do a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we'll
It
just
turns color when it absorbs, so, and based on what color it absorbs is what it is, but I don't know. It might say
It says somewhere, but
like on the package. You'd think since I sell it, I would have memorized.
No, you can't memorize everything.
Yeah, there's too many. I don't know that.
A little bit of ceramicron, that'd be good for them, right?
Sure. All right.
Awesome.
Let it settle in.
Yep.
That way we'll go eat, we'll come back and go, what did we miss?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of little things that have to go back together yet, but it's all just the little stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everything's up and running from what we can tell.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the things I need to zip tie back so they look good again.
Yep.
Throwing our buckets away, dumping our buckets out.
Mm-hmm.
Figuring out what I'm going to do with that tank now. So you were over the other night. We were looking at the pleco fry in here, or the pleco eggs.
Yep.
The fry that you see around the tank are from the last spawn where I left a few of them for the male to take care of. The eggs now have hatched.
Okay.
Okay. And here, we get in there really tight here. Let's see. So you can see some fry in there, but you see the smaller fry in the back that are just wiggling.
Yep.
Those are ready to come to a fry tray.
Okay.
Over here. And gee, we got lots of space today, right?
Yeah, because you read on the rack, so.
So I'll go grab a fry tray, and then I'll show you how I use a baster and get the fry out of the cave.
Sounds good.
Sound good? And we'll link this in the, well, wait, we'll do it differently. So this is my fry tray.
Yep.
It's actually a cupboard or refrigerator organizer tray. We'll link what they are
Okay.
in the description.
You better give me that link.
I have also painted it white with Krylon Fusion.
Yep. Aquarium safe paint. Yep.
And only up to a certain level. The reason that I paint it is so when you're in the fry tank, if it was clear, you couldn't see what fish are in there very well.
Yep.
But in this case, you know, let's scare these guys around. They'll hate me for it. So now you can see, you know, clearly that there's fish. Also, if I'm dealing with super small fry, I can tell if they've eaten the baby brine shrimp yet or not.
Right.
So the tray has a slot cut out in it.
Yep.
That's what this is going to go in. And it's designed to overflow. You can see I have water coming in, right?
Yeah.
And it overflows out the back. The air is to break up the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So the way the sponge is cut, you will say genius, is it's a solid piece where I've just taken a knife and cut a slit,
Genius.
right? And then it's easier for me if I wet it. And then it basically just slides in the slot. Pull it through on the inside.
Do you like take them out and dry them each time? That's why it's one's already isn't in there, or?
No, I like this fry tray hasn't been used for a couple weeks,
Okay.
so I take them out and I just clean them.
Yeah.
I mean, will they add biological filtration? You know, they probably will a little bit, but that's not what they're there for. These are there to keep the fry in the tray,
Yep.
let the water flow through. In past videos, you've seen where I've glued nylon material on the outside.
Yep. Other fish room tours.
That just takes more time. This was easy, fast.
Yep.
And I found that, you know, I can replace that sponge really easy if I want to.
Yeah.
So then it's just going to go in here now. I'm going to speed the process along a little bit because normally I would just set it in here
Yep.
and add the tap. But in this case, I'm going to fill it halfway with water.
Right.
Normally I wouldn't do that. The tap just hooks up here.
To your water system.
This is my water system, my water supply. Turn it on with my thumb that hurts like crap. So,
Yep.
so eventually, right now it's floating a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Within a minute or two, that'll just sink down and stay.
Nice.
So that's the fry tray ready to go.
So that's where they're going.
That's where they're going. I'm fairly confident that my water chemistry is very, very close. So I'm more concerned about temperature,
Yep.
and I'm just doing that by this, and it's very close. So shouldn't have that to worry about either. I do have this to worry about. This will be, stay tuned, we'll be doing another video one day
All right.
where you guys will really know what this is.
I just keep asking people what it is. It looks like something you made.
I did make it.
Okay.
So we're gonna need this guy.
All right.
Normally I do it on guppy counter, but we'll do it here today. It'll work just as well. This guy, we're gonna need the cave and some water.
I'm trying to get out of the way.
That's fine, you're okay. I'm gonna use this, I think. No,
Small fish room is small.
siphon. Didn't we siphon earlier today?
We did. That's where all the good stuff's hidden, right
Yeah,
back
these,
there.
these are, you know, these are to suck fry out.
Yep.
I don't know what this one's for. Oh, if I want to go slower than the big one.
Yep.
Another fry sucker. Slower. I don't know. You know, they just get hung up.
Options.
Options, yeah. Ever done this where you got a mouthful
Yes, more than once.
So on camera, how much is it worth to you?
It's not worth that much, but I will laugh.
Okay, then I'm not doing it then.
How many likes does the video have to get before you're going to take a mouthful of water in the next video?
Let's say if we get 50,000 likes.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
At this point, maybe 50,000 views.
I would settle for that too.
All right.
Okay. It's not that bad, and you know.
My problem is one time I was sucking in so hard it went down my windpipe.
It will do
and
that.
then you drown pretty much.
Drowned.
It's horrible.
I have done that.
Yeah. I've done it with an employee watching too. That was pretty embarrassing.
Grab me one more towel.
One more towel? I don't know where the towels
I'll
are.
find
Go get
a
them.
towel.
Meanwhile, we'll look at these black rams. Still angry from basically complete water change, but in the fry we have over here, which these came from the same batch.
Yes,
A
they
lot
did.
of golds come out.
And you're seeing that I'm getting two different types of golds in there now.
Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah, so, okay, so I'm going to pull the cave out. It's going to go in here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not worried about the fish. The cave will have water in it.
Yep.
And then we're going to basically dump it out,
Yep.
as many to fry out, and then I use the baster to get the rest out.
Sounds good. I think we could see that in action. I'm going to come to this side. That way I get a better angle for everyone. That's the way I do it, because you trap all the fry kind of in this cup. Basically,
Right.
it's a cave, and that way, if they all leave, you have to catch a billion little fry, and they're so sensitive you can kill them with a net really easy.
Right. Very easily. All I'm doing now is just getting all of that debris off, because this is going to go into the fry tank.
That makes sense. You don't
So-
want to get stuck in there.
No. So, if we want to try to get a shot down in here with a flashlight,
Mm-hmm.
so in here there's basically two sizes of fry. There's a few that I left from last time, and then there's a brand new ones. Can you get that shot?
And the adult dad. Yep, I
And
got
the
it.
dad. Okay. So here's going to be the process. Tip it upside down.
Yep, there's a lot of babies.
There's your first take.
Yep.
But look in here now.
Wow, yeah. They still got the yolk sac
Yeah.
for the smallest ones.
Yeah.
Basically that yellow, looks like an egg yolk if you don't know
Right.
babies.
Tons of them, huh?
Yeah, there's still more in the cave.
Oh, sorry, did I splash on you? So now I'm at the point where there's still a few in there,
Yep.
and this is what I do to get the rest out. So first I'm going to go in here and just kind of try to get the male loosened up a bit. He won't come out, and then you tip him and you'll get a few each time.
All right.
I can still see him on the side, so.
Yep.
And what I'm doing is I'm turning the cave as I do it,
Mm-hmm.
so it changes their orientation of up and down.
Yep.
And now I'm going to take a look. There's still just a couple more in there. I want to get out of there. There they are. Might be them. No, there's 1, 2, there's about 5 more in there now. These things are faster than you think,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually have pretty good little suckers on them for little guys. I think that's it.
Good enough. I mean, you can let them grow out with the next batch.
You can see how he's trapped that one area.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a few behind him.
Yep. But you can get them out in the next batch like you did with this one where some
Yeah,
will raise up.
there's a few bigger ones in here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're putting him back.
We do a whole video on how to breed bristle now. It's like I've done it a bunch, you've done it a bunch.
Yep. They're not that hard. This was actually, you know, like I told you before, it's kind of going to be a egg tumbling project that we haven't done yet. We'll do that someday.
Yep.
But we haven't done it yet, so that's what this was. I actually borrowed the female from a club member.
Oh, nice.
So I had the male.
Yep.
And that's a massive bristlenose.
Yeah, that is, you know, probably 100 in there. Maybe 70.
Keep guessing.
109.
I'll bet you there's over 200 in there.
Here's what we do. Someone count how many there are and let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Don't
you think over 200, huh?
Yeah.
All right. I think it's like 100.
You think so?
That's what I think, but
yeah,
I'm not counting them either, so.
It's a bunch.
Yeah.
Now, how do we get them from there to there?
I think I slapped a bucket over. And it'll like.
That's a chore.
Yeah.
They don't like coming out.
Well, I take a ride on this wheelie stool.
I want to take the big ones out of there.
Okay, that makes sense.
If I can, they're going to be probably hard to catch.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to catch a few of them if I can. Oh, look it.
There you go.
When you're good, you're good.
So I say, better lucky than good.
I haven't decided where I was going to put him yet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's fish that'll eat them in there. Like, I'm like, oh, there's some algae, but...
Okay. Same temperature. They'll be fine. Come on, buddy.
I'm going to cut to when this is done. This is going to take a while. This is where Jimmy inserts the 3 hours later slide.
3 hours later.
Using the baster again to like water
Just
fall
wash
out.
them down, yeah.
Still holding on with their suckers.
I don't want to, you know, force them out with my fingers because I've actually harmed them before, and
Yeah.
I'm not too into that. I'd rather have them just wash out.
You got them all?
Not too bad. Now let's see if we can get the guys out of here.
There you go.
I'm going to go back over here. And we'll give them their own food tonight.
Nice.
Sorry, Dad. Mom?
Yeah, but you got rid of a lot of their kids for them. That freed up their day.
Yeah.
So.
You guys are doing good now?
All right, well, it's about 10 o'clock at night. We've
is.
moved fish. You haven't fed Brian yet.
No,
Water heater replaced. You have warm water.
I have hot water.
Yeah, hot water. I even warm hot water.
Yeah.
Not bad for a Friday night. That's how fish nerds spend their Friday night.
Exactly.
Moving pleco babies and replacing a water heater so that you can play with fish tomorrow.
Yeah, and tomorrow, see right over there in that corner?
Yep.
There'll be eggs on that slate.
On the red ones?
On the red ones.
Okay. You called it 100% correctly with the blues.
I know.
The
And
blues
you know,
did.
they polished them the next morning. They were on the glass here,
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's no way. But a lot of times, you know, we move those fish.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to spawn.
Yep.
I think really she's just getting rid of the eggs.
Yeah, stress.
Because they didn't spawn on a substrate, you know, they just wanted to, she needed them gone.
Yep.
I'm thinking next time they'll do the slate,
Nice.
or I'll beat them up. I mean, or I'll have to scrape them off the glass.
That's right.
But you can see he's cleaning the slate.
Yep.
So
We've got a video for Dean breeding angels if you ever want to see how to do that, and we'll be sure to chime back in. I'm always trying to convince Dean to come and work for the co-op and make more videos and do that, but his time is limited, so
right.
we get in here when we can. Friday nights, my wife is an angel for letting me go on Friday night to do this instead, but
Thanks,
water
Katie.
heater had to get done.
Yeah. So hit the notification buttons and subscribe to Aquarium Co-op.